Okay, screen is visible to everyone. Shall we start?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yes, sir.
So in the last lecture, we have seen that the characteristics of network layer, how the logical addressing is implemented in network layer, and how route is decided by the router, by which from source to destination a packet can travel and it reached in our destination. And then we already discussed about the transport layer, characteristics of transport layer, where we maintain the flow of control with respect to our segments, error control with respect to segments, point to point delivery, process to process delivery, and access control with respect to the segments. Now, in this lecture, this is our lecture number 7, and in this lecture, we will cover two different topics. First, we will talk about the characteristics of session layer. Then we will discuss the characteristics of application layer. So by today, we will complete our OSI reference model. That very different 7 different layer which we have already discussed. So by today's lecture, we will cover entire OSI reference model with their characteristics. So let's begin the lecture. First, we will start characteristics of session layer. The very basic definition of session layer: the services provided by the first 3 layer, physical layer, data link layer, and network layer, are not sufficient for some process. Means by using first 3 layer, it will not reach to the destination. That means whatever we deliver from source machine, it will not reach at destination site properly. Therefore, we need some session also. The session layer is the network dialog control. It establishes, maintains, and synchronizes the interaction among communicating systems. If two systems are in a single dialog control, that means both systems can transmit our data privacy. You have seen that if you transfer your money from one account to another account, there must be a session. That session is called dialog control. So dialog control is done by a dialog controller, which is the another name of session layer. So it create a dialog, it create a session in which two user puts into it. And then two users can communicate our confidential data structure. So session layer comes into the picture whenever we require transmission of data which are confidential by both the user, like e-transactions. Network session layer establishes, maintains, and synchronizes the interaction among communicating system. The session layer is responsible for dialogue and synchronization. Means it put two users into a single dialogue, single session, and also the data which are being transferred from one user to other, it will be maintain the order of the bits, and this is called synchronization. So dialog control and synchronization both are performed by the session layer. Specific responsibilities of session layer include the followings. First, dialog control and synchronization. These are two characteristics, main characteristics we can say, which are performed by the session layer. Now let's talk about what is dialog control and how it is managed by the session layer. The session layer allows two systems to enter into a dialogue. Session layer is only layer which are allowed to two systems to work in a single dialogue. It allows to the communication between two processes to take place in either half duplex or full duplex mode. So this is called dialog control. That means it is nothing, just a session which are created by the session layer, and by this layer two computer system or two system, it may be two workstation, it may be two server, it may be two user, it may be two process also, one website to other website, can enter into a single dialogue or session. So session layer allow two process, two system to enter into a single dialogue and perform the communication by using a single half duplex mode, that means one way at a time, or it can also communicate with the data with full duplex mode, that means two way at a time. So this is the first characteristics of session layer, dialogue control. Second characteristics of session layer is synchronization. So whenever we talk about the management of data, whenever we talk about the ordering of the data, that is a synchronization terms comes into the picture. The session layer allows a process to add checkpoints or synchronization point to a stream of data. That means in every checkpoint we decide the rest of data what we receive in our buffer, whether it is correct or not. Right? Suppose 2000 bytes we want to transfer from one system to other. That means for every 100 bytes we make a checkpoints that 100 bytes are received properly or not. Then we will start receiving next 100 bytes. So this is the checkpoints concept which are implemented in synchronization system. So session layer allows a process to add checkpoints or synchronization points, that is the another name of checkpoints, to maintain the stream of data. For example, if a system is sending a file of 2000 page, it is advisable to insert checkpoint after every 100 pages to ensure that each 100 page unit is received and acknowledged independently. In this case, if a crash happened during the transmission of 523, the only pages that need to be resent after system recovery are page number 501 to 523. We need not to send starting from 1 to 523 because we have already make a checkpoint which check all the 100 pages are received properly or not. So if any error occurred during the transmission of pages, that means we start from 501 to 523. So pages previous to 501 need not to be sent. Now figure 2.12 illustrate the relationship of the session layer to the transport layer and presentation layer. So let's understand it by figure. So this is the diagram of session layer. First we think we should know the session layer takes data from presentation layer and it transferred to the transport layer. So in the diagram we have seen that from transport layer receiving the data and perform the functionality on that data and put header and trailer section and transfer to the transport layer. So in functionality of session layer, after receiving from the presentation layer, it can perform dialog control and synchronization. Now let's talk about some presentation layer, characteristics of presentation layer. In the diagram, we have seen that presentation layer, it will take data from application layer and perform some functionality on that data and transfer to the session layer. So top layer of presentation layer is application layer and just the bottom layer of presentation layer is session layer. So it will take data in the form of segments from application layer. That is the only layer where so many users are exist. User can start browsing and start number of applications, number of websites it can visit, it can request from any server by HTTP protocol. So every user can work accordingly, and that work is nothing, just a transfer of segments from application layer to session layer, application layer to presentation layer. Now the functionality of presentation layer, what it does for the user data. So first is the translation process. So translation, that means the process in two systems are usually exchanging information in the form of character strings, numbers, and so on. So translation, that means a data comes from the server to our browser. It will not compatible to our browsers. So somehow we need to change, somehow we need to translate that programs which are coming from the server. Like you are searching anything from the browser and you are making request from server that I want this kind of answer. So the answer which are stored in somewhere else or some other server, the format of the answer is not compatible that whatever we seen in our monitor. We understand only alphanumerical or character or number, but it might possible that other language format can also available on server. So translation is required. So the process in two systems are usually exchanging information in the form of character strings, numbers, and so on. The information must be changed to a bit stream before being transmitted. That means the information must be changed to bit streams before being transmitted. Suppose it is receiving data in the form of segments, so somehow we need to change in a bit streams. This is the changing of data is called translation, which are performed by the presentation layer. Because different computers use different encoding schemes, presentation layer is responsible for interoperability between these different encoding methods. So different characters, different alphabet, different numbers can exist in a single computer system. So whatever the data we receive from the server, it must be translated, and the translation means we are exchanging information in the form of character strings, number, and so on. And every system having some encoding methods by which it can translate the data and view to the users. Then we are capable for reading by alphanumerical ways that the process, this is the data which are coming from the server. So if there is no translation mechanisms, if there is no encoding methods exist in the computer system which are provided by the presentation layer, we cannot able to read data. We cannot able to read anything which are coming from the server. You can take simple example like suppose we start internet in this way and we put any request. Suppose what is function of presentation layer. So whenever we strike a enter key, the server, our request from client machine to server machine, and server collect our response or result based on the query. Query was what is the function of presentation layer. So answer which are stored in somewhere else or some other server, that will be in different format. They having different encoding schemes also. But in our computer system, if there is no translators, there is no encoding schemes or character reading scheme, number reading scheme, then the answer which are coming from the server, this is the answer. That answer is in alphanumerical form. So that is the task of presentation layer which convert our data in readable format. We can't say that the same pattern is stored in the server. Maybe it will stored in the server in different encoding schemes. But whenever it transfer from server to client machine, that is in our browser, it will be translated, it will be converted in user readable format. So it will take data from application layer, perform the translations, and then transfer to the session layer. That is the function of presentation layer. Now second is encryption. To carry sensitive information, a system must be able to ensure privacy. Sometimes we have to send information, sensitive information, to other system, and we want to mention some privacy also. So what we do, we simple perform some encryption key. We change our data format in different way. So encryption means that a sender transforms the original information to another form and sends the resulting message out over the network. So just to change the form of data. That means original information we want not to be changed, but some encryption key will be allowed. We apply some encryption key to our data and same key apply by the receiver. So by encryption, we can send our sensitive data from one system to other. So by applying encryption method or technique, we able to ensure some privacy to our data. Now when we apply, suppose sender apply encryption method, in the same way receiver can apply decryption process. That is some reverse process by using the same key. Let's take an example. Suppose we want data like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and in this data we provide some encryption key. We adding suppose 2 in each number. In each number we are adding 2. That is our encryption key. So how encryption is performed onto a data? We are taking one example. Suppose we have data 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the data we want to transfer from source machine to destination. Let's suppose sender sends this data to receiver. Now receiver machine receive data 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It will not receive in the same manner. But during the transmission, what could happen? The data may be stolen by some other person. So what we can do with the data? We can apply encryption technique, and by encryption technique we are making some encryption key. Let's suppose 2 is our encryption key. We are add 2 by each number, and the data become 1 plus 2, that is 3, 2 plus 2, that is 4, 3 plus 2, that is to be 5, 4 plus 2, 6, and 5 plus 2, 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 become 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now receiver also having the same encryption key. Encryption key. It will minus each data, each digit by 2. So what it can receive? 3 minus 2, that is 1. 4 minus 2, that is to be 2. 5 minus 2, that is to be 3. 6 minus 2, that is to be 4. And 4 minus 2, that is to be 5. So sender perform encryption, receiver perform decryption. It will add some data by encrypt the original data, but remember the original information cannot be changed during the while receiving the data by receiver. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 is the same data which are received by the receiver, but during the transmission it can change our pattern. So this is how encryption is applied by the sender device, and this is the task of presentation layer, how the data will present. Similarly, in translation, you have seen some translation technique also. You have seen the ASCII pattern, which are created by the America to understand information coming from the keyboard. Already seen that UTF and there is so many character encoding scheme which are currently available in the server and client machine. UTF-8 character, UTF-16 characters. UTF is an encoding scheme, encoding system for Unicode. It can translate any Unicode character to a matching unique binary string. So ASCII and UTF, these are two encoding schemes, encoding methods by which data can be converted in readable format. Now, third is compression. So data compression reduce the number of bits contained in the information. So whatever information which we send from sender machine to receiver, if it is in bulk, it is having a large in size, the data compression can be applied to a data. So data compression, what it does for the user, it reduces the number of bits contained in the information. Data compression becomes particularly important in the transmission of multimedia such as text, audio, and video data. So whenever required, presentation layer can apply compression on that data. So these are three characteristics of presentation layer: translation, encryption, and compression. Now come to the next layer, application layer. The application layer enables the user, whether human or software, to access network. If there is an application layer, we are able to make request from our browser to server. If there is no applications layer exists in our computer system, we are not able to perform any query. We are not able to put any query to the server. So application layer enables to users to access the network. It provides user interface and support for services such as, suppose you want to send a mail to other one, then some protocols must be there which are belonging to application layer. And you know that the protocol which are responsible for sending mail is SMTP, which is Simple Mail Transfer Protocol. And it is a application layer protocol which makes interface from client to server. That means by using that protocol, client can send mail to server. Application layer protocol, SMTP. You have already seen that there is a protocol HTTP, Hyper Text Transfer Protocol, and this is the protocol which are responsible for making request from client to server. Like I am surfing anything from my browser, all the request carry by the HTTP protocol. So HTTP is the protocol of application layer which carry our request to the server and collect the response and revert back to the client machine. So SMTP and HTTP, and another protocol of application layer is DHCP, Dynamic Host Control Protocol. So it provides the protection and security to our machine. So whenever our system is booted, each and every booting time, it provides dynamic IP address to our system. So that is the work which is performed by the DHCP protocol, Dynamic Host Control Protocol. So it is again a application layer protocol which provide protection and security to our system. The hacker which are belonging to some other network cannot access my network directly, cannot access my node directly, because each and every booting time it will change the IP address. Now another application layer protocol is FTP. Like whenever you need to transfer file from one system to other, from client to server, and from server to client, Sometimes you download some files from server. So that FTP that are FTP server. File transfer protocol. Another is Telnet, telecommunication networking protocol. Whenever a client machine connect with the remote machine, so application layer provide a protocol named Telnet. So by which we can connect a remotely machine, by we connect a remote machine which are currently exist in remote site. So there are so many protocols of applications layer which makes interface from client to server. So we have told you some protocols, their extension, abbreviation, and some basic function. So the application layer enables the user, whether human or software, to access the network. It provides user interface and support for services such as electronic mail, remote file access, transfer, shared database management, and other types of distribution information services. Now, if we talk about the function of application layer, first is network virtual terminal. We can access virtual terminal by using application protocol. File transfer, access and management, we can use FTP protocol by transferring, by accessing and management of that file. So these applications allow a user to access file in a remote host, to make changes or read the data, to retrieve files from a remote computer, for use in local computer, and to manage or control files in a remote computer locally. Similarly, suppose mail services, this application provides the basis for email forwarding and storage. And directory services, this application provides distributed database sources and access for the global information about various objects and services. So these are directory services which currently exist in those operating systems which are server based operating system. So in a single user operating system cannot have directory services. So for analyze these services, you have to use a multi-user operating system. So this is all about the application layer protocol. So application layer protocol, application layer takes data from directly user or any programs. Then again it will add some header and trailer section and transfer to the presentation layer. So in this way, our data is being transmitted from user to other user. So if we summarize everything, we start our discussion with application layer, with physical layer, then data link layer, then network layer, then transport layer, then session layer, presentation layer, then application layer. We have seen so many characteristics of our layers. This is the summary of our layers. Application layer to allow access to network resources. Presentation layer is responsible for to translate to encryption and compression of the data. Session layer to establish, manage and terminate the session. Transport layer is responsible for providing reliable process-to-process data communication, message delivery, and error recovery. And for manage flow, it can have number of methods, and for maintaining error controlling, it can have so many methods. Network layer, it is responsible for moving the packet from different network, and it is responsible for source to destination. It also provide internetworking, means two different network can directly transfer the data from one to other. We have already seen that internet and intranet. What is the difference between two terms? And then data link layer to organize bits into the frames. We have seen how data is to be collected and designing frames, and it is delivered to hope delivery. Then physical layer, that means all the bit streams converted into a signals. All the bit streams are converted into electrical or optical signals based on the transmission media connected to the physical layer. So this is all about OSI reference model, which are consist of 7 different layer: physical layer, data link layer, network layer, transport layer, session layer, presentation layer, and application layer. So this is one kind of virtual model which are currently exist, and by using this virtual model, user can interact the internet services. So this OSI reference model is not a single software and not a single hardware. It is a combination of hardware and softwares. So physical layer, data link layer, and network layer, it is a combination of hardware and protocols. And transport layer, session layer, and presentation layer, and applications layer, top 4 layers are totally combination of protocols. We can say softwares. So this is all about the today's lecture content.